Hello lovelies, I thought I'd show you how to make another brooch. So I'm going to show you how to make a strawberry today, like this little cutie. It's all squishy and padded, but you could do a flat one if you wanted. So let's get going. The thing I did was to draw myself a little strawberry just like this one. I would say it's approximately 6 centimetres top to bottom and side to side. And then I cut out this little bit. Because I'm going to make my green bit out of that. So, next step, you're going to cut out red felt, but you're not going to worry about the little cut out bits there. So you're just going to make the red felt that shape, if you get what I mean. And you need 2 of those. And then you need your little spidery thing, put that on and cut yourself out the bit for the top of the strawberry. I'm going to do the face first. I'm going to use this like dark brown because I can't be bothered to go and find the black. I have no idea where it is. And it's thickish thread. I think it might be for crocheting, but it'll be perfect for this because it won't need very much to stand out. Before you start sewing, get yourself a pencil and see if you can draw on roughly where you want your eyes and etc. That just gives you a rough guide of where you need to sew. There's my little face. And the next thing I'm going to do is the little white spots. And they are just French knots. And I say just French knots, but it took me ages to master this. So I'm going to try and pass on some of my wisdom. All right, let's see if I can show you how I do a French knot. So your needle goes in from one side to the other, and you pull it all the way through. Now put your finger on that because you don't want it to scrunch up. You want it to stay in position. So I've got my little finger and thumb on that bit. Now the next thing I do is, and this is the awkward bit to show, pull that out and wrap it round my needle 3 times. I don't know if you can see that yet. And then hold it away and push the needle back in. Oops, sorry, trying to get my hands out of the way. Push the needle back in, keep it reasonably taut with this hand, and then put your thumb on it right there. And that helps you to keep that knot in place while you drag the thread through. It's kind of going through your wrap, but it's caught out at the bottom, so it ends up like a little knot. There you go. Hopefully that shows how to do it. If you struggle with French knots, I fully understand it. I would say practice lots on another bit of cloth before you do it. And also, for the strawberry sake, you can just do 2 or 3 little stitches instead of doing the French knot method, and that's fine. So you need some strawberry pips all over that. There you go. When you're happy, I've done a mixture there of the ones that are just with a few straight stitches over the top of each other and some French knots. So you can do it even if you can't do French knots. Right, we're going to sew this bit on, which is a bit of science here for you. This is the sepals, the remains of the bit that covered the flower before it turned into a strawberry. And we're going to sew that bit on like it's its little hair. It's so cute. I'm going to use normal green cotton to sew that on. Doing an in and out stitch for this. It's nothing fancy. And I'm just going to do a few more, and some of them are joining it to the red at the back and some of them aren't. They're just stitching into the green to make a nice pattern. What I did was I stitched all the way down, so it's sort of putting it on, but it still left it a little bit loose. Once you're at that stage, you're going to get the back, pop it on, and this is the bit that I find the most relaxing. You're just going to sew around the edges. Don't sew all the way, don't lose yourself and forget to put any stuffing in. Leave a little gap. I'm going to do a simple overstitch to join them all together, sewing in and out. So you start stitching along and you're going to go all the way around, and like I say, stop so that you can put a little bit of stuffing in. Look at the concentration on my face. I actually find this part the most relaxing thing ever. That's why I do loads of sewing, obviously. Okay, so I've sewed most of the way around and I've got my little gap just there, and I'm going to put a teeny bit of stuff in. So I'm just sticking my stuffing in, popping it down the bottom just to make my strawberry a little bit more juicy. So stuffing's in, I'm just going to finish off sewing that. Done? What a sweetheart. Let's look. That is so cute. Now, all I'm going to do now is sew a safety pin on the back of there. If you didn't want this as a brooch, though, what you could do is maybe put like a little loop of ribbon on the back there, and you could have it as a dangly thing, or sew it onto anything really. You could actually attach it so that it wasn't removable onto a bag or something like that. Anything you want once you've made your little strawberry. Or you could just like make a load of them and put them in a little dish. That would be really cute as well. Sewing the pin on, I'm just going underneath and up so that I'm getting the thread over the top of the pin. I go from one end to the other, and then I go back the other way. All nicely sewn on now, so I'll just trim the end off, and then it's ready to wear. All done. How cute is that? We've got our pin on the back. Let's pin it on. Looks great on those lips there, doesn't it? All finished. And I'll catch you next time, puddings. Have a go. Make some strawberries.